Liam was an explorer. He had traveled too many places on Earth and beyond. But he was always curious about what was waiting for him out there in the stars. He loved learning about new worlds, new people, and new cultures. Today, he was sitting in his small apartment on Earth, looking at a strange letter that had arrived in the mail. The letter was not like the usual ones. It was written on a shiny, smooth paper that changed colors when he moved it. The letters on it were not in any language Liam had seen before, but when he held it close to his eyes, the words slowly changed into simple English. The letter said, "You are invited to the wedding of the Prince of Vera. Your presence is requested as a guest of honor. Please come to planet Vera to celebrate with us." Liam blinked and looked at the letter again. Vera, he said out loud. He had heard the name before. It was a planet far away from Earth, known for its beautiful crystal cities and peaceful people. But why was he invited to an alien wedding? He thought for a moment. Maybe this was a chance to learn something new. Maybe it was an adventure. Without thinking too much, Liam decided to accept the invitation. He packed his bag quickly, putting in a few clothes, his translator device, and a small camera to capture memories. At the spaceport, Liam boarded a sleek spaceship that would take him to Vera. The ship was smooth and fast, gliding through the stars like a bird flying through the sky. Liam looked out the window and smiled. This was going to be a trip he would never forget after a long journey. The ship began to enter the atmosphere of Vera. Outside the window, Liam saw the planet's surface shining with bright colors. There were tall crystal towers reflecting the sunlight like diamonds. The forest glowed with soft blue and green lights. It was more beautiful than he had imagined. The ship landed gently on a large platform near the wedding hall. Liam stepped out and took a deep breath. The air smelled fresh and sweet, like flowers mixed with rain. Round him, many creatures of different shapes and sizes walked and talked. Some had wings, some had scales, and some had smooth skin that shined like metal. Liam felt a little nervous, but also excited. A friendly-looking alien with bright yellow eyes and smooth silver skin came forward. "Welcome to Vera, guest Liam," the alien said in a gentle voice. "I am Moreau, your guide. Please come with me." Liam followed Moreau through the crystal halls. The wedding hall was huge, with high ceilings that sparkled like the night sky. Beautiful decorations hung everywhere. Strange flowers and colors Liam had never seen filled the room with a soft light. The music was unlike anything on Earth, with notes that seemed to float in the air. As Liam looked around, he noticed the guests. There were many species, all dressed in their best clothes. Some wore robes that shine like stars, others wore armor made of shining metals. Everyone was talking and laughing, but Liam could tell they were watching him carefully. He was the only human here. Moreau noticed Liam's look and said, "You may feel different, but you are welcome here." The prince's family is known for their kindness. The wedding is a great event for all planets. You will learn much. Just then, a loud and joyful voice spoke from the center of the hall. "Friends from many worlds, welcome to this celebration." The voice was strong and warm. Liam turned and saw a tall figure wearing a long blue robe covered in sparkling gems. The figure had kind eyes and a gentle smile. "This is King Rowler," Moreau whispered. "He rules Vera and is father to the princess who will be married today." Liam bowed politely, feeling a little shy. The king nodded and smiled back, as if happy to see him. The king's presence made the room quiet for a moment. Everyone watched as the ceremony was about to begin. Suddenly, Liam felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned and saw a young woman standing there. She was tall and elegant, with hair that looked like flowing silver light. Her eyes were bright green and full of curiosity. She smiled warmly. "I am Nira," she said softly. "You must be Liam." "I am glad you came." Liam smiled back, feeling his nervousness fade. "I am glad to be here, Nira. Your world is amazing." Nira laughed gently. "You will see more soon. Today is a special day for all of us." The ceremony began with music and dancing. The guests joined hands and moved in circles, their movements graceful and full of joy. Liam tried to follow, laughing when he stumbled. Nira helped him, and together they moved through the dance. After a while, Liam found himself sitting beside Nira, watching as the princess walked toward the prince. The prince was from another planet, and they looked happy together. Liam noticed the love and respect in their eyes. It was beautiful as the sun began to set. The lights of the crystal towers shone even brighter. Liam felt a warmth inside him, a feeling of belonging he had not expected. He realized this journey was more than just an adventure. It was the start of something new. Liam woke up early the next morning, feeling excited and a little nervous. He was still on Vera, the beautiful planet with crystal towers and glowing forests. After the first day's wedding celebrations, he wanted to explore and learn more about this strange and wonderful place. As he stepped outside, the air was cool and fresh. The sky was a soft purple with two suns slowly rising. Birds with colorful feathers flew across the sky, singing sweet songs Liam had never heard before. The light made the crystals on the buildings sparkle like stars. Liam saw Moreau waiting for him near the palace gate. "Good morning, Liam," Moreau said with a smile. "Today, I will show you some of the city and tell you about Vera's history." Liam nodded. "I'm ready to learn." "Thank you, Moreau." They walked through the streets, which were filled with a soft glow from the crystals set into the walls and floors. The people of Vera moved calmly and peacefully, greeting Liam with smiles and curious looks. Many were dressed in bright colors, their clothes shimmering in the light. Moreau explained, "Vera has been home to many species for thousands of years. Our people believe in peace and respect for all life. The crystals you see everywhere are not just beautiful. They hold energy that helps power our cities and heal the sick." Liam stopped and touched a crystal embedded in a wall. It felt warm and hummed softly in his hand. "This is amazing," he said. "On Earth, we have to work hard to create energy. Here, it feels natural, like part of life." Moreau nodded. "Yes, our connection to the crystals is very old. We learn from them and protect them. It is part of our way of living with nature." As they walked, Liam noticed children playing near a glowing lake. Their laughter was happy and free. Some children had small wings, others had skin that shined like glass. Despite their differences, they all played together, showing no fear or worry. Liam smiled. "This place feels like a dream. Everyone seems so kind and peaceful." Moreau said, "That is true, but it has not always been easy. Long ago, there were wars and fear. It took many years and many leaders to bring peace to Vera. They arrived at a large building made of crystal and stone. It was the Museum of Vera's history. Inside, holograms and glowing images told stories of ancient battles, powerful leaders, and the formation of the alliance between planets." Liam watched the images carefully. He saw how different species once fought for land and power, but slowly they learned to understand each other and work together. The royal family, including Princess Nira's ancestors, had played a big part in making peace. "This is why the wedding is important," Moreau said. "The prince and princess are not only joining in love, but also strengthening the bonds between many worlds. Your presence here is a sign of friendship between humans and Verans." Liam felt proud and honored. He had never imagined he would be part of such a big event. After the museum visit, Moreau took Liam to a large garden filled with glowing plants and flowers. The colors were soft and calming. In the center of the garden was a quiet pond, where small creatures with light wings danced above the water. Nira was waiting there, looking peaceful and happy. When she saw Liam, her face lit up with a warm smile. "Good morning, Liam," she said. "I thought you might like to see the garden. It is one of my favorite places." Liam walked beside her, admiring the beauty around them. "It is peaceful here. I like how everything seems connected. The plants, the creatures, the crystals." Nira nodded. "On Vera, we believe that all life is connected. It helps us care for each other and the planet." They sat near the pond, watching the small creatures flutter and glow. Liam asked Nira, "What is it like to be a princess here? Do you feel pressure?" Nira smiled softly. "Sometimes. Being part of the royal family means I have many duties, but I also have freedom to learn and help. Today is a joyful day, and I am happy to share it with friends. Liam looked at her and said, I'm glad I met you, Nira. I want to learn more about your people and help if I can. Nira's eyes shone. You already help by being here. Friendship between worlds is important. Maybe together, we can make the future better. Suddenly, a messenger arrived with a small crystal tablet. Nira opened it and read a message. There's a gathering in the palace courtyard, she said. The king wishes to speak with all guests. They walked back to the palace and the large courtyard. Many guests had gathered. King Rowler stood on a raised platform, his voice strong and warm. Friends from many worlds, he said, today, we celebrate not only love but also unity. The joining of my daughter and the prince from Zelara is a symbol of hope. Together, our peoples can face the challenges ahead. Liam listened closely. He could feel the importance of the moment. It was more than a wedding. It was a promise for peace and cooperation. After the speech, Liam felt a tap on his shoulder. Turning, he saw a small group of curious guests. They were from different planets, and each wanted to learn about Earth and humans. Liam smiled and began to share stories of his home. He talked about Earth's oceans, forests, and cities. The guests listened eagerly and asked many questions. For the first time, Liam felt truly connected to a larger universe. The fear of being different disappeared, replaced by hope and excitement. As the sun set again, the courtyard lit up with soft lights from the crystals. Music began to play, and the guests started to dance and celebrate. Liam looked at Nira, standing nearby. She smiled back, her eyes full of promise. This was only the beginning of his journey on Vera, a journey that would change his life forever. The next day, Liam felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today, he would meet the royal family of Vera. He had already seen the king and the princess, but now he was invited to visit the palace for a private gathering. Moreau arrived early. At Liam's guest room, "Come, Liam," he said kindly. "The royal family wishes to welcome you properly. It is an honor for you to be here." Liam took a deep breath and followed Moreau through the long crystal halls of the palace. The walls reflected soft lights, and the air was filled with a faint, sweet scent. Everywhere he looked, there were beautiful artworks and glowing crystals. As they entered the grand reception room, Liam saw King Rowler seated on a large throne made of crystal. His eyes were gentle but full of strength. Next to him stood Princess Nira, dressed in a flowing gown that shimmered like silver water. Her green eyes sparkled as she noticed Liam enter. "Welcome, Liam," King Rowler said in a deep, warm voice. "We are glad you accepted our invitation. It is not common for humans to visit Vera, and your presence honors us." Liam bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I am honored to be here." Nira smiled and stepped forward. "I hope you find our world as wonderful as we find Earth. We have heard many stories about your planet and your people." Liam felt a wave of warmth. "Your world is beautiful, Princess. I am learning so much already." The king nodded. "We have invited you not only as a guest but also as a friend. Our people believe that peace and friendship can grow between different worlds. Today is a step toward that hope." Liam listened carefully, feeling the importance of the moment. He thought about his own world, the problems, the conflicts, and the hopes for a better future. Nira guided Liam to a smaller sitting area where others had gathered. Several members of the royal family were present. The queen, who had kind eyes and soft white hair. The prince, tall and strong with a quiet smile. And several advisors who watched Liam with interest. As the conversation began, Liam noticed how different yet similar these beings were. They all cared deeply about their people, about peace, and about learning. One advisor, a tall woman with blue skin and glowing eyes, asked Liam about Earth's technology. "How do your people travel between stars?" she inquired. Liam explained. "Simply, we use spaceships powered by engines that burn fuel. We are still learning about faster ways to travel." The advisor nodded thoughtfully. "Our crystals provide energy for faster travel. Perhaps one day, our worlds can share knowledge." The queen smiled kindly at Liam. "It is good to see curiosity and kindness in a visitor. These are the keys to friendship." As the conversation continued, Liam felt more comfortable. He asked questions about Vera's culture, the royal family's history, and the customs of the wedding. Nira told him about the meaning behind the wedding rituals, how they symbolize trust, unity, and respect between planets. Our wedding is not just about two people, she said. It is about many worlds coming together. Liam was impressed. That is a beautiful way to think about marriage. Suddenly, a soft sound of music began in the background. It was the song from the wedding, gentle and full of hope. Liam looked at Nira, who seemed to glow with happiness. The king stood and raised his hand. Tonight, we will have a feast to celebrate. You are all invited. Liam smiled. He was beginning to feel like he belonged here. Before the feast, Nira took Liam aside. There is something I want to show you, she said quietly. Curious. Liam followed her down a long corridor to a small room filled with glowing crystals and soft light. This is the Hall of Memories, Nira explained. Here, we keep the stories of our ancestors. You can see their lives, their struggles, and their dreams. She touched one of the crystals, and a glowing image appeared in the air. A story of old battles and the founding of peace on Vera. Liam watched, amazed, as the history unfolded before him. Your world is history too, Nira said softly. It is important to learn from the past to build a better future. Liam nodded. I agree. Sometimes it is hard to remember that when things are difficult. They sat quietly, watching the images together. Liam felt a new connection growing, not just to Nira, but to this world and its people. When they returned to the feast, the hall was filled with music, laughter, and delicious smells. The food was unlike anything Liam had tasted, colorful, sweet, and fresh. He ate slowly, savoring each bite. Guests from many planets shared stories and danced. Liam found himself talking with a group from the planet Zelara, the prince's home. They told tales of their own customs and invited Liam to visit one day. Nira stayed close, and when they danced again, Liam felt the joy of friendship and acceptance. The music carried them into the night, and Liam realized that this was more than a wedding. It was the beginning of a new family, a new future. As the stars shone bright outside the palace windows, Liam looked at Nira and smiled. He knew that his journey on Vera had only just begun. The day after the feast, the palace was quiet but filled with a strange energy. Liam woke early, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He was still trying to understand everything about Vera, the beautiful planet, the kind people, and the special wedding he had come to witness. As Liam prepared to meet Moreau for the morning tour, a sudden message arrived from the king's palace. It was delivered by a small glowing messenger drone, floating gently to Liam's room. The message was brief but clear. Attend the king's council immediately. Important announcement. Liam's heart beat faster. What could be so important? He quickly dressed and followed Moreau through the palace halls. In the large council room, the king stood at the center, surrounded by royal advisors, nobles, and leaders from many worlds. Princess Nira was there too, her face calm but serious. Liam was led to stand near the front, where everyone could see him. King Rowler began to speak, his deep voice filling the room. Friends and honored guests, today we celebrate a special union between worlds. The wedding of my daughter, Princess Nira, to Prince Lyra from Zelara, marks a new era of peace and friendship. Everyone nodded in agreement. Liam smiled, happy to be part of this historic moment. Then, the king's expression changed. He looked directly at Liam. There is an ancient custom of Vera, one rarely used but very important, as a sign of trust and alliance. The royal family offers the hand of the princess in marriage to one of the honored guests. Gasps and whispers filled the room. Liam's eyes widened in shock. Marriage? To him? He looked at Nira, who met his gaze calmly, with a small but encouraging smile. King Rowler continued, this custom is not to be taken lightly. It is a bond of unity that connects families, planets, and hearts. Liam, you have been chosen by the council and the king to accept this honor. Liam felt his mind spin. He had come as a guest to celebrate, not to become part of the royal family. The room waited for his answer. Nira stepped forward, her voice soft but clear. I support this tradition. Liam, If you agree, we will join. Our world's not just in friendship, but in family. Liam looked around the room. The eyes on him were hopeful and expectant. He felt the weight of their trust. But he also felt something else, a strange calm inside, as if this moment was meant to be. He took a deep breath and spoke slowly. I'm honored by this offer. I never expected it, but I see the meaning behind it. If it will help our worlds grow closer, I accept. A wave of surprise and joy passed through the crowd. King Rauler smiled warmly. So be it. Let this union be a symbol of hope for many generations. The ceremony was quickly prepared. Liam was led to a special chamber where ancient garments and symbols of the royal family were kept. The clothes shimmered with light, made from the finest fabrics of Vera. Nira waited for him there, her eyes shining with kindness and trust. This is a new path for both of us, she said softly. Together, we will face whatever comes. Liam nodded, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. The thought of marrying an alien princess was still strange, but he trusted Nira and the people of Vera. The wedding ceremony was simple but full of meaning. They stood before the king and the gathered guests. The king placed a glowing ring on Liam's finger, a symbol of their bond and promise. Nira did the same, and their hands joined. The room was filled with light and soft music. The crystals in the walls glowed brighter as if celebrating with them. When the ceremony ended, the guests cheered and applauded. Liam looked at Nira, feeling a new connection growing between them. He realized this was more than a ceremony. It was the start of a true partnership. Later, in a quiet room, Nira and Liam talked about what the future might hold. Will this change how others see me? Liam asked quietly. Nira smiled gently. Some may be surprised, but many will respect the choice. You have already shown kindness and courage. That is what matters. Liam felt relief and hope. He wanted to learn and grow, not only for himself, but for the people of Vera and his home planet. The days ahead would be full of challenges, but Liam knew he would not face them alone. Together, he and Nira would build a future where humans and Verans could live in peace and friendship, starting with their unusual but powerful bond. After the unexpected wedding ceremony, life on Vera changed quickly for Liam. The people he had met before now looked at him with new respect and curiosity. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of the royal family. The morning after the ceremony, Princess Nira came to Liam's room with a bright smile. Good morning, husband, she said softly. Liam smiled back, still getting used to the new words. Good morning, Nira. I feel like I'm dreaming. Nira laughed lightly. It is a lot to take in, but I will help you learn everything about our world. Liam nodded. He wanted to understand Vera and the people who had welcomed him so warmly. Moreau came to guide Liam through the day's lessons. Today, we will learn about Veran customs and duties. He said, as part of the royal family, you have new responsibilities. Their first stop was the palace garden, where bright flowers and glowing plants grew in every corner. The air was filled with the scent of sweet blossoms. Liam breathed deeply and felt calm. Nira joined them, explaining, the garden is a place of peace and reflection. Royal family members spend time here to think about their duties and the well-being of our people. Liam looked around. It is beautiful. I can see why it helps people feel calm. Moreau showed Liam a small crystal embedded in a tree trunk. This is a wisdom crystal, he said. It holds knowledge and memories passed down from our ancestors. Touching it can help you understand our history and values. Liam placed his hand on the crystal. A soft light spread through his fingers, and images appeared in his mind, stories of past kings and queens, of battles fought and peace won. He felt connected to Vera's long history. As the day went on, Liam learned about the royal duties. He met advisors who taught him about diplomacy, how to speak kindly and solve problems between different planets. He practiced greeting visitors and answering questions about Vera. Nira stayed close, helping him understand the customs and rules. Sometimes it may seem strange, but remember the meaning behind it, she said. Respect, trust, and friendship. Liam found himself growing more confident. He asked many questions and listened carefully. Later, Nira took Liam to meet the prince from Zalara, her new husband's family. The prince, Lyre, was strong and kind. He welcomed Liam warmly. "We are glad you joined us, Liam," Lyre said. "Together, we will build a strong alliance." Liam felt grateful for the support. He realized that marriage was more than a personal bond. It was a promise between worlds. That evening, the palace held a small gathering for the new couple. Friends and family came to offer gifts and good wishes. Liam was amazed by the beauty of the traditions, songs, dances, and stories passed down through generations. During the gathering, Liam noticed a quiet figure watching him from a corner. It was one of the king's advisors, a thoughtful man. Named Taren. Later, Taran approached Liam. "You are doing well," he said kindly. "But there are challenges ahead. Not everyone will agree with this union." Liam looked surprised. "What kind of challenges?" Taran lowered his voice. "Some planets do not trust humans. They see us as different, even dangerous. It will take time and effort to build true peace." Liam nodded slowly. "I understand. I want to help, to show that we can be friends." Taran smiled. "That is the right attitude. Remember, you are a symbol now. Your actions will speak louder than words." Liam felt the weight of the responsibility, but also the hope. The next day, Liam and Nira visited a school where children from many planets learned together. Liam watched as they studied science, history, and arts. He spoke to the teachers and students, sharing stories from Earth. The children were curious and excited to meet a human. They asked Liam many questions about Earth's animals, technology, and stars. Liam realized that the future of peace depended on these young minds. If they learned to understand and respect each other, the universe could be a better place. Nira smiled at Liam. "You are already making a difference." Days turned into weeks. Liam continued to learn and grow. He practiced Varen language and customs. He joined discussions about trade, security, and culture. He also spent quiet moments with Nira, exploring the forests and crystal lakes. They talked about their hopes and fears, about their new life together. One evening, as they walked under the twin suns, Nira took Liam's hand. "You have been brave and kind," she said. "I am proud to call you my husband." Liam squeezed her hand gently. "I am proud to be here, with you and your people, together. We will face whatever comes." Life on Vera was full of wonder and challenge, but Liam knew he was ready. This was his new home, and he would protect it with all his heart. The sun rose over Vera, casting golden light across the crystal towers and glowing forests. For Liam, this morning was not just another day, it was the start of a new chapter, a new beginning. Since the wedding, so much had changed. Liam had grown from a curious guest to a true member of the royal family. He had learned the ways of Vera, met many friends, and faced challenges with courage. But today, he knew something important awaited. Princess Nira stood beside him on the palace balcony, watching the horizon. Her eyes sparkled with hope and determination. "Today, Liam, we begin a journey that will bring our worlds closer than ever." Liam smiled. "I'm ready, Nira. Whatever comes, we will face it together." The people of Vera and their allies had gathered in the great plaza below. Banners from many planets fluttered in the warm breeze, and the air buzzed with excitement. Today was the day when Liam and Nira would travel beyond Vernat as strangers or guests. But as ambassadors of peace and friendship, King Rowler approached them, his face calm but proud. "My son-in-law, the time has come. You will visit Earth, our new home's partner, to strengthen the bond between our peoples." Liam felt a surge of emotion. Visiting Earth as part of the royal family was an honor beyond his dreams. "I will do my best to represent Vera and our friendship." The king nodded. "We trust you. May your journey bring hope and understanding." As preparations began, Liam and Nira met with diplomats and scientists. They discussed plans for trade, culture exchange, and future cooperation. The feeling of unity was strong. Later, Nira showed Liam a small crystal device. "This will help us communicate with Earth. It carries the voices and images of our people, so we are never far from home." Liam touched the crystal, feeling a warm glow. "It is beautiful, like a piece of Vera with us, when the time came to leave. Liam and Nira boarded a sleek spaceship built with Varen technology. The ship gleamed under the twin suns, ready for its journey through the stars. As they soared into space, Liam looked back at the glowing planet that had become his new home. "I will return soon," he promised silently. The trip to Earth was smooth but filled with wonder. Liam saw stars and planets he had never imagined. Nira pointed out constellations from her world, and Liam shared stories of Earth's skies. When they arrived, Earth looked familiar and strange at the same time. The cities shone with lights, and the air carried scents Liam had missed. They were welcomed by Earth's leaders with warmth and respect. Liam stood proudly beside Nira, feeling the importance of their mission. The days on Earth were busy but exciting. Liam and Nira visited cities, schools, and cultural centers. They shared stories and learned from Earth's people. Liam spoke about Vera's crystal technology and peaceful traditions. Nira showed how their worlds could help each other grow. One day, Liam met a group of Earth children who were fascinated by his stories. He told them about Vera's glowing forests and ancient crystals. The children asked many questions, and Liam realized how much hope rested on their young minds. Nira smiled. "The future is theirs, Liam. They will carry our message forward." As the visit continued, Liam and Nira felt the power of friendship growing between their worlds. They knew challenges would come, but the bond they shared was strong. On the last evening of their visit, Liam and Nira stood together under Earth's night sky. The stars shone brightly, a reminder of the vast universe and the endless possibilities. Liam looked at Nira and said, "This journey has changed me. I see now that family is not just about blood or planets. It is about trust, respect, and love." Nira nodded, and together, we will build a future where all worlds can live in peace. When they returned to Vera, the people welcomed them with joy. Liam's heart was full. He had found a new family, a new home, and a new purpose. The story of Liam and Nira was no longer just about a wedding or a strange marriage. It was the story of hope, a hope that across the stars, kindness and friendship could unite even the most different worlds. And so, under the glowing skies of Vera, with Earth shining like a distant jewel, Liam looked forward to the future. A future where he and Nira, together, would protect peace and build bridges between planets. The universe was vast, but love and friendship were stronger. This was only the beginning. The sky above the new Earth colony was quiet at first. People only saw stars and the faint glow of distant planets. But something was different that day. Far beyond the blue sky, a strange, shining object moved slowly into the colony's space. It was not a comet or a meteor, it was a ship from far away. The people of Earth had built many colonies on planets near and far. They were used to exploring the unknown, meeting new worlds, and sometimes meeting new life. But they had never met aliens like this before. The ship was large and smooth. It shone like silver in the sunlight. It did not make any sound as it entered the orbit of the colony's planet, called New Hope. The ship's shape was strange, and like any human craft, it was tall and curved, like a tall wave frozen in time. Inside the ship was Princess Mira. She was the leader of the alien people who called themselves the Nari. The Nari were very old, with their own long history and many rules. One of their most important rules was to never get too close to other species. They watched from far away, learning quietly, but never spoke or came near. Princess Mira was different from the others in her people. She was young and curious. She wanted to know more about the humans living on New Hope. She wanted to understand why they looked so alive and strong, even when their world was new and small. But she was afraid. Her people warned her that getting close to humans could bring danger. So, Mira watched silently from her ship's big window. Her eyes were large and bright, filled with both hope and fear. She saw the blue-green planet spinning slowly below her. She saw the cities and farms and forests of the human colony on the ground. The people of New Hope had no idea they were being watched. Life went on as usual. Children played in the fields. Farmers worked in their fields. Engineers checked machines and robots. One of the humans was Ben. He was not a soldier or a leader, just a simple engineer. He loved to explore and learn new things. When he heard reports about the strange ship in the sky, he felt excited. He wanted to see it for himself. Ben went to the spaceport with a small flying drone. The drone was a little machine that could fly far and send back pictures. He sent the drone up into the sky, higher and higher, until it reached the orbit where Mira's ship was. Ben watched the drone's camera carefully on his small screen. Suddenly, the screen showed something amazing. There was the ship, and standing behind the ship's big window, looking down at the drone, was a girl. Not just any girl, she was the alien princess. Ben's heart beat fast. He knew this was the moment of first contact, but it was different from what he had imagined. The girl did not look scary or mean. She looked curious and a little shy. Ben smiled and said quietly, "Hello, cute girl," into the drone's microphone. It was a joke, a simple, friendly greeting. He wanted to break the silence inside the ship. Princess Mira heard the voice through the ship's sensors. She blinked, surprised and confused. No one had ever spoken to her like that before. Not with such warmth and humor. Mira looked at the small flying machine again. It was not dangerous. It was not a weapon. It was small and simple, like a toy. Her heart moved. Maybe these humans were different from what her people said, but she was still afraid. What if the humans were not friendly? What if this small talk was a trick? Mira sent a quiet message back through the ship's communication system. It was only a few words, but it meant a lot. "Hello, human." Ben's eyes widened. The princess had answered. For the first time in history, an alien spoke to a human. He felt happy and nervous. On the ground, people started to notice the strange signal coming from the sky. Scientists and soldiers gathered quickly. They were not sure if the aliens were friends or enemies. They prepared for anything. Ben stayed calm. He wanted to keep talking to Mira. He sent another message. "I'm Ben. What's your name?" Mira smiled inside her ship. She wanted to say more, but she knew she must be careful. Her people watched her every move. "I'm Mira," she finally sent back. The days passed, and to talk more through their small messages. They shared stories about their worlds. Ben told Mira about Earth and the colony's life. Mira told Ben about the stars and her people's long history. But while Mira grew more curious and brave, the others in her world grew worried. The Nari Council sent messages demanding that Mira stop talking to the humans and return home. They feared the humans' boldness and strength. Mira felt torn. She wanted to obey her people, but she also wanted to learn more about Ben and his world. She hoped the humans would not be dangerous. On New Hope, people waited, watching the sky. They knew history was being made, but no one could say what would happen next. And somewhere in the silence between the stars, a young princess and a human engineer began a friendship that could change the future of two worlds.